interpreting the results. So these are the results here on the page, but I'll just come to his interpretation of the results. Our findings show that using the entire data set for the period year 0, Jesus' birth date basically, to 2008, when he wrote this, for 2,000 years of world history, politically and religiously motivated violence has cost between 447 million and 706 million lives. So who's the worst offender? Because we know already that Christian civilization is very peaceful and only seeks to, Christianity is a very peaceful religion. We know that atheism is not an ideology that kills people. I constantly hear this on Twitter and everywhere. How many deaths does atheism cause? Richard Dawkins has asked this question. Of course, common sense, atheism hasn't killed anyone, has it? And so on. So, number one, the Christian civilization's share of this is the largest, with between 119 and 236 million victims. The median is 278. The median is kind of like halfway. So between the highest and the lowest figure, the median figure is 178 million human beings killed in the name of Christianity, a result of Christian wars. The second place, what comes in second place? Can you guess? Well, it's the anti-theist civilization, which has contributed with a median figure of 124 million deaths. So 124 million people have died as a result of atheist wars, both civil wars and wars between countries, of course. What's third? Okay, is the Cynic civilization is third with 107 million deaths. That's the median figure. The fourth is the Buddhist civilization with around 87 million deaths. Hang on, where's the Muslim? Well, surely the Muslim civilization must be here somewhere. Number 5 in this unholy list from the very worst. The fifth is the primal indigenous civilization with 45 million deaths credited to its civilization. Number 6 is the Islamic civilization with 31 million deaths. Finally, seventh and last is the Indic civilization with just under 2.39 million deaths. So by far and away the worst, if one looks at the death toll distribution on the pie chart, by far the worst cause of mass deaths in wars, in civil wars, in killings on a mass scale is the Christian civilization. In fact, those words together don't seem quite right, do they? Christian and civilization in this context, but hey, that's the language of this survey. And the Islamic civilization comes second from the bottom in terms of the number of deaths caused. So I think that is quite surprising. It certainly was to me when I first read about this, that the death toll distribution is so heavily weighted. The number 1 is the Christian civilization. Number 2 are the atheists. So I'm sorry, Richard Dawkins, but atheist states, atheist ideology, atheist civilizations have been responsible for at least 124 million deaths, whether it be the Soviet Union, whether it be the Eastern Bloc, whether it be China, communist China, which is probably one of the worst and most egregious places for killing in history of the world. Islam comes 6. So that's very interesting. This book, by the way, the uses and abuses of jihad, is very interesting because it basically debunks many of the myths about jihad that we have in the West, and is written by the contents page by a whole team of distinguished scholars on the subject. It talks about warfare in the Quran and combat, jihad and the Islamic law of war, about which is much misunderstanding, particularly in the West, and so on. I won't go through all the chapters, but there are 16 chapters on this subject, War and Peace in Islam, and I do recommend it. You can read it for free online. Till next time.